15 for 30 from downtown. This is a big-time heavyweight matchup between two of the A-Sun's best.
And a big-time game here tonight. First place in the A-Sun on the line again. Evan Burge, Chris King, and James Gibson, your three officials. The opening tip controlled by the Lions of North Alabama. We're underway. It's Thursday night. A-Sun basketball from the Music City, Nashville. Lipscomb going up against North Alabama. Ball deflected away, knocked out of bounds. It will remain the Lions' ball. Some of the games already underway in the A-Sun. We'll update you with scores coming up at halftime and maybe even before if it becomes important. And, of course, we'll have our eyes glued right here in Nashville as the Lions and the Bisons go at it. Open from the elbow, but the shot won't go there. Missed by Ortiz, and Lipscomb has the rebound.
Well, Daniel Ortiz, a prolific three-point shooter. You want to run him off the three-point line. Lipscomb don't like to give up open looks, but you'll take one from Ortiz from 18.
Lipscomb working the shot clock down inside 10 seconds. Charlie Williams driving, spinning in off the glass. Got it. Thought at first it was going to be a little bit too hard, but Charlie Williams gets the first two of the game.
Well, sometimes you can lose track of Charlie Williams because he's such a stretch five-man. Defensively, you're sometimes more concerned about his three-point shooting. But I think he's great back to the basket as a post player, and he shows you there.
A little drive and spin. This one a little bit hard off the rim. Charlie Williams trying to get the rebound, and he's going to be pushed by another Williams. Cornelius Williams got up under Charlie, and he's going to be charged for the foul. Yeah, meanwhile, missed shot there by Lane.
You know, that's the hook and hold call right there. He kind of got Williams under the arm, hooked him, and then held him down.
Joe Anderson will run the offense for Lipscomb. He'll cross the midcourt stripe. Early going to this one. Little give and go out top, and now here's Powell down to the baseline. Back out to Charlie Williams. Shot clock will be down to 10. Oh, what a spin by Anderson. Back to Charlie Williams for three. Off the mark, no good, and the rebound will come down to the other Williams for the Lions. Cornelius Williams has the rebound.
North Alabama #1 in the A-Sun in rebounding as there's a turnover there. We'll talk about that in a minute. But rebounding, who can win that battle is a three up by Williams, and he's taken all three shots for the Bisons here on these first three possessions.
Lipscomb struggled from outside in their loss to East Kentucky, one of their probably maybe the poorest shooting night they've had in a long time, but struggled from outside the arc. Long shot, no good there. Put up, I think, by Susi.
You would expect a high-scoring game between these two. This is the #2 and #4 scoring teams in the A-Sun, and there's your #1 scorer in the A-Sun, Jacob Ignacevic, getting his first look on a nice little lob pass.
He averages 20 points a ball game. He's one of the top in the A-Sun as he gets his first two of the ball game, and I think on his way to at least being very much considered or being the player of the year in the A-Sun. That's going to be a 2, not a 3 across the way, as Tate Fields had his foot on the line.
He doesn't take a lot of threes. I know that wasn't one, but he's a 39% shooter from out there. He just doesn't take a ton of them, but big bucket there to get the lid off the basket for North Alabama and kind of get their feet wet here in Allen Arena.
Charlie Williams out the A-Sun logo, spins and goes in, has his shot blocked, but he'll come out with a rebound. They wanted a traveling called on, get it. We get a baseline runner by Anderson that's good. And Coach Pujols cannot believe there was not a traveling call. Very upset with that call, lack of a call down.
Yeah, and that was, I didn't see the feet. I saw the block shot, but there's a 3 up and good by Fields, no doubt about this one, and he's got the first 5 for North Alabama.
He's 10 of 24 from outside the arc, and he's brought his team to within 1. We are just underway here in Allen Arena. Got almost 4 minutes in the book. J.O. outside with it. They'll cut him off there. He thought about going to the hoop, but doesn't. Here's Joe Anderson, pull-up 3. Put it in the book for Joe Anderson. His 51st 3 of the year against 142 attempts.
He had a game-high 21 in the first matchup against North Alabama. He was 9 for 13 shooting and knocked down a couple of threes. Anderson, you'd like to have a big night from him as well tonight if you're Lipscomb.
Lions now with a little drive all the way in, a little hard off the glass, ball tipped out, and J.O. comes away with the rebound after the missed shot by UNA.
Yeah, and Coach Pujols wanted a foul there. I tend to agree with him. That looked like there could have been a foul called. The officials playing physical here early.
Down low to J.O. Turns and shoots it. He's going to be fouled. He will go to the line to shoot, and Grant Asman is ready to check in for the first time in a long time. We'll talk about that when we come back to Nashville.
Get ready to score big during Spitzer's 3-point savings event. Panda, ready to let them know how? Pick your vehicle, then roll home with your choice of 1, huge Spitzer discount, 2, special low financing, or 3, more for your trade.
Whatever one you choose, it's a slam dunk. Like new Rams for $339 a month or up to $15,000 off with a lifetime warranty included. Wag more, spend less at Spitzer Jeep Ram, Mansfield, and Brook Park.
Our world revolves around you.
BK melts. Wanna warm up? This sure helps. Classic bacon, shroom, and Swiss. BK melt season is tasty bliss. BK, have it your way.
Icy hot. Ice works fast. Heat makes it last. Feel the power of contrast therapy, so you can rise from pain. Icy hot.
Even when U.S. Women's National Team forward Mallory Swanson isn't on the field, she always makes the perfect play. Thanks to the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards Visa Card, she'll earn 3% cash back on her purchase after choosing the online shopping category.
It is March Madness, baby.
Let's go. This is just spectacular.
There's nothing stopping them right now.
The celebration is on.
March Madness begins March 19th.
Stats between these two teams, Justin.
Yeah, we talked about points per game. UNA number 2 in the conference at 79.6 points a game. Lipscomb number 4 at 78.9. These two teams can score, and they can score in bunches. Lipscomb is best in the A-Sun field goal percentage, although you wouldn't know it from that last game against Eastern Kentucky where Lipscomb really struggled. But to me, the one I want to look at is the rebounds per game. North Alabama, number 1 in the A-Sun in rebounds per game. They're 3rd in the conference. Of that 38, they're averaging over 12 offensive rebounds a game. Why is that significant? In the first matchup against Lipscomb, where they beat the Bisons by 10, they had 15 more rebounds than Lipscomb and got 10 second chance points. So who can win the rebounding total? You're talking about a North Alabama team with the top 2 rebounders in the conference in Cornelius Williams and Tay Field. So Lipscomb's going to have to do it with a combined effort, and one of the guys who's going to try to help tonight is Grant Asman, who just checked into the game for the Bisons.
Yeah, Grant's been out for several games due to an illness. However, he got cleared to play a couple of days ago, didn't play for the last 2 games, but after practicing more, he's set, ready to come on. He checks in for Charlie Williams. He'll be on the floor for Lipscomb.
You have to see what his conditioning's like after those games, but he does give Lipscomb some versatility defensively, and at that 6'10" frame, hopefully gives you some rebounding as well.
Jacob Anasovic will be at the line for Lipscomb, and he will connect on the first free throw. As we told you earlier, he's averaging 20 points a ball game. He's had, so far this year, 5 30-point games. As he connects on both the free throws, stretches Lipscomb lead out to 6, 11-5, following that 16-minute media timeout.
First matchup, Lipscomb led only by 4 during that first matchup. North Alabama led in the second half by as many as 16 points against the Bisons.
Fields down on the baseline, having a little treble, spins around, then skips it over for a long pass by Ortiz, long three-pointer by Ortiz. That is in and out, no good, and then knocked out of bounds there by the Lions, and Lipscomb will have the ball to go the other direction.
Well, that's the shot, though, that Lipscomb's doing something a little bit different defensively. They're doubling in the corner, something that I'm not sure North Alabama was necessarily prepared for, necessarily seen Lipscomb do on film. they're doing that. That was a good location to find on the wing over there, and you're playing with fire when you're talking about Daniel Ortiz shooting from three.
Here in the early goings, Lipscomb 4 of 7 from the field. In and out, no good there by Gyasi Powell. The rebound out to North Alabama. They're 2 of 7 from the field, including 1 3-pointer. And then down low, Anderson got his hand on that one, and they're able to strip it away from Williams, and Lipscomb forces the turnover.
It's the second turnover already for North Alabama. They average an ASUN low 9 a game.
Great ball movement by the Bisons to set up Gyasi Powell, and for the 62nd time this year, he puts it in the book. Lipscomb on an 8-0 run, 2 minutes and 15 seconds, no points for UNA, and Lipscomb with a 14-5 lead to start this game.
Powell 10th in the ASUN, averaging just over 2 made threes a game.
Williams feeds it down low, little turnaround shot short, no good. Missed there by Fields, and Lipscomb giving them only 1 shot on goal. Joe Anderson's long 3 off the mark, and the rebound comes down to Cornelius Williams, the 6'9" redshirt sophomore out of Mississippi.
Yeah, heat check 3 there. I'm not sure that's really the shot Lipscomb wanted on the other side. Will Susie, I don't think gets enough praise on this North Alabama team. He's one of 3,000-point scorers. I love his game. I think he's got that great versatility at about 6'5", 6'6". He can play big if you need him to, but he can also go out and play guard as well. And just a great look that time from Susie.
He's played in a lot of games for UNA. Another 3 up and good for Powell. The transfer from Jacksonville puts another one in the book for Lipscomb.
Now watch out if Gyasi Powell gets hot from 3. Powell averaging 37% from downtown.
Almost lost at midcourt, but Lane will recover. He'll put a 3 on the way. That one goes in the book from the top of the key. Jakari Lane, the 6-foot junior out of Huntsville, Alabama, played at Lee High School.
That's what I was talking about in the open. Can create his shot really anytime he wants.
Grant Aspen thought about a 3, doesn't. Drives and then pitches it to the wing. And then Joe Anderson, man, can he not dish it off? Does again to Powell. They're just moving that ball every which way they can. Here's Will Pruitt driving. Too hard off the glass. Rebound's going to come down to Susie.
You better be ready to have some combat gloves on when you go down in the lane, because the officials are letting them play right now physically. Here's a mismatch for Williams.
Works in against Powell, then feeds it down low. Shot blocked away by Asman, but it falls right back into the hands there, and the shot is up and good by Williams.
And North Alabama shows you what they can do when they get 5 feet and in with their size. Cornelius Williams averaging almost double figures. He's so imposing down there, especially on the defensive end with his rebounds.
Got his first 2 points of the ball game. Powell, this 3 is off the mark, and the rebound out to North Alabama. As Lane will bring it across the timeline. Trailing by 5, Lane directs traffic. We got 3 Bisons ready to come in, a couple Lions ready to check in across the way. Long 3 off the mark, rebound kicked out. Susie couldn't grab it, Lipscomb gets it. And Joe Anderson quickly over to Will Pruitt.
Lipscomb's got to get a post touch to Ignacevic here.
And they will, just as you said it, they get it to him. He goes home, gets the 2-handed flush.
Yeah, Lipscomb, they're best when they can play inside out through J.O. and get those outside 3s to really loosen up the defense, but you can't have too many possessions in a row without giving the big man a touch for Lipscomb.
Powell comes out on Lane a little bit. He wants to drive, and then off the bounce, passes it, and then a drive and a pass down low. Nice work there on the pass from Ortiz.
Yeah, just so much of a problem, both Ortiz and Lane. Probably, you know, when you talk about the best backcourt duos, I think Lipscomb and North Alabama may have the 2 best backcourts when you talk about Pruitt and Anderson, and then Lane and Ortiz.
Anderson said, don't leave me out here by myself. Let me put one up, and let me put it in the book. And Joe Anderson connects on the 3, his second 3 of the ball game. Joe's now hit 52 on the year, and we'll get a timeout call. We'll take the break. 9:52 to play in this first half. Lipscomb with a 22-14 lead.
Welcome to the Atlantic Sun, where heart-pounding moments are born and where champions rise above. Where speed defies limits and precision finds its mark. Where millions of fans nationwide cheer for excellence, determination, and fairness. Where public, private, and faith-based schools compete side by side, fostering sportsmanship and unity. From the beaches to the mountains, the Atlantic Sun is the destination.
Someday. Someday.
We all have things we hope to do someday. With great deposit rates from Ascend, we're here to help make your someday soon. Ascend Federal Credit Union. Open your account today.
We just want to say thank you so much for donating.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much for supporting us on this day of giving.
Without you, none of the things we do would be possible. You allow us to travel to many different places and play at the highest competition levels.
And because of your donations, you've made this place greater.
Thank you to every Bison fan who has already supported our teams today. There are still a few hours left for you to help us reach our goal, and every donor counts. Please visit givingday.lipscomb.edu to donate before midnight tonight.
Take a look at the series history, Justin, between these two teams.
Yeah, this is a series that in the NCAA era dates back to 2019. These teams have played a lot, even when you talk about before the Division I. But Division I, this has been a pretty even series. And, of course, the heartbreaking loss for the Bisons a year ago when North Alabama on the buzzer beater by a former Lipscomb Bison got the win in the quarterfinals as KJ Johnson, who started his career at Lipscomb, finished it at North Alabama, and finished off the Bisons last year on that three-point attempt at the buzzer to take down Lipscomb. So North Alabama, some pretty good feelings coming in here to Alabama, coming in here to Allen Arena after beating Lipscomb a year ago in January of 2024.
Talk about players playing for their former team. Look at Daniel Ortiz. He played for UNA. And then, after leaving North Alabama, he goes down to Birmingham, and he plays for UAB, takes them last year to the NCAA, and then comes back to UNA to play this year.
The transfer portal giveth and taketh away. It's on both ends for North Alabama, but Ortiz just a fantastic player. He was an A-Sun all-freshman team selection in his freshman year. Knew he was going to be a great player for North Alabama, and then he left, and now he's back.
Yeah. Not many players do that, but he did it. He was here, left, and comes back to North Alabama. After the timeout, Lions will attack. Go to the corner. Three up, off the mark, no good there by King, who's getting some playing time here of late. Darkon King, the Dallas, Texas native. And now White is going to try to help.
Lost his shoe.
And now Pruitt trying to play with a shoe on and a shoe off, puts enough defense up that Lane misses on it, and I think Pruitt's now got his shoe fully on.
Lipscomb absolutely dodged a bullet right there. Great defense by Will Pruitt.
And then Pruitt, you know, he's on his back about every time he scores. As he went to the deck after scoring that time. Pruitt getting his first two of the ball game. Anasovic leads the way with 6 of the 24. Lipscomb with a 10-point lead. 8:50 to play here in this first half. Lane spinning into the paint. Turning, spinning, shooting. Short off the front of the iron. The tip out, and it goes right to, it went to King. Lipscomb couldn't get to it in time. A nice tip out attempt to try to get the rebound. And then down low, a little hard off the glass, but sticking and getting it. It's going to be good by Bacchus.
Again, second chance points, 21 for North Alabama last time against Lipscomb to just 11. The 10 points on those extra offensive possessions, and now a turnover by the Bison's. Chance for North Alabama to get something in transition here.
They're going to fire up a three from back, and it's going to be good. Cannon Jefferson, the sophomore from New Orleans, puts it in the book for the Lions. They're back to within 5. The turnover a minute ago by Lipscomb, just trying to force a pass. You just got to be careful trying to force it down low against these Lions. Here's Anasovic, almost stripped from him. Get it back to Charlie Williams, who's back in the game. His little jump hook Hits the flat part of the iron, bounces around like a pinball, but goes down for the points.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a dangerous lineup, in my opinion, for Lipscomb, because you got Pruitt running the point. Without Suber or Anderson in the game, Lipscomb, this is a little bit of a light backcourt for the Bisons, as Jakari Lane, you can't give him that much of an open space from 17 feet out.
Lane gets his 5th point of the game, 9 of 20 now from the field for the Lions. Lipscomb with the ball, they've hit 10 out of 17. Here's Pruitt on the drive, the pitch back to Anasovic, and then he loses it on the dribble, turns it over, and here comes North Alabama. And then they turn it over, and Lipscomb's going to head back the other way. Back-to-back turnovers by the two teams. Charlie Williams for 3. In and out, no good. Rebound kicked around there, and it goes out of bounds. Last touching Bacchus. It'll be Lipscomb's ball under their bucket when we come back to the Music City. Lipscomb with a 5-point lead.
Get ready to score big during Spitzer's 3-point savings event. Panda, ready to let them know how? Pick your vehicle, then roll home with your choice of 1, huge Spitzer discount, 2, special low financing, or 3, more for your trade.
Whatever one you choose, it's a slam dunk. Like new Rams for $339 a month or up to $15,000 off with a lifetime warranty included. Wag more, spend less at Spitzer Jeep Ram, Mansfield, and Brook Park.
Our world revolves around you.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that opens up a world of possibilities. With Venture X, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. And turn all of your purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Target made Up and Up for you, helping you save on hand soaps. With plant-derived ingredients and custom fragrances. With luscious foam to stir the senses. We made Up and Up for you, only at Target.
Burger King has a deal for all. $5 duo answers hunger's call. $7 trio, more options for y'all. Which one will you choose? At BK, have it your way.
With Allegra, you can stop being sneezy.
Isn't I?
Without feeling sleepy.
Hello? I'm sleepy. Yeah, we know.
Allegra has 0% brain interference for fast, non-drowsy allergy relief, so you won't be sneezy or sleepy.
Do you know what I'm allergic to?
Maybe not even grumpy. Stop your sneeze and ditch your drowsiness with Allegra. It's a no-brainer. See Disney Snow White in theaters March 21st.
The Lions have hit their last 3, and there's Tony Pujols. He is in his 7th year as the head coach of the Lions, taking them through their transition into NCAA Division I from Division II. His only head coaching job, he'd been an assistant out in Wyoming, but doing a great job leading the Lions. Meanwhile, there he is, Coach Lenny Acup. He's in his 6th year as head coach of the Bisons, got over 104 wins here as the head coach at Lipscomb. He's been coaching for 35 years. These two programs met a lot when Lenny was coaching another program. When he was coaching Alabama Huntsville, he had a lot of matchups with North Alabama.
Yeah, very familiar with North Alabama and the institution and the program, but these two coaches, like we said, the matchup between them is 7-6. Coach Acup with 7 wins, Coach Pujols with 6 wins, so it's been pretty dead even between the two. You look at the stats so far, Joe Anderson leading the way with 8 points for the Bisons. Jacob Ignacevic has 6. On the other side, Tay Fields with 7 to lead the way for North Alabama. Jakari Lane with 5. Lipscomb shooting 55% here to start this game.
Lipscomb with the ball after the timeout. After the ball before the timeout was knocked out of bounds down low by the Lions, and Charlie Williams shot blocked from behind, but he battles, stays with it. It's loose, and coming out with it, here come the Lions. Cross court with it. Get it to Fields. Back out on the wing with it to Lane. He'll dribble in, drive in off the glass, missed on it. I think he got a little bit of question there when he started running into Anasovic. But as it was, Lipscomb will get the rebound.
Got to get another post touch here to Jacob Ignacevic for Lipscomb.
They pull him out, and then they bring him down. Good way to feed him right there near the A-Sun logo, but Joe Anderson that way couldn't find a way to get it to him, but Charlie Williams will. Good ball movement, spinning it around, set Powell up for three. Too hard, long rebound comes out there to Bacchus. And the Lions have it down by 5. The drive and the block shot by Charlie Williams. As Charlie sends that one near the tunnel, past the Bison bench over there, and he sent it over Faulkner. Faulkner injured and had to have his season come to an end with surgery. You see Charlie getting a great block here. Of all the Bison blocks, Faulkner has 25 of them.
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely a defensive presence that Lipscomb lost inside, but I like Charlie Williams' aggressiveness. He is coming out swinging for the Bisons here in this one. Really like his play so far. He'll get a blow on the bench right now.
That block gives Lipscomb 77 for the season. And there, Powell getting a hand on it, knocked it off of the chest and out of bounds off Fields. And so that'll turn it over and back to Lipscomb.
Well, that right there is the 4th turnover against North Alabama. North Alabama best in the A-Sun as far as turnovers per game. These are the top 2 teams, averaging both of them under 10 turnovers a game. So that's another one. Keep track of the turnovers. Which of these defenses can really assert themselves?
Here's Pruitt from the corner. Put it in the book for Will Pruitt as he gets the 3. As Pruitt gets his first 3, Lipscomb 5 of 11 from outside the arc so far here in the first half. Yeah, the turnovers only 9 per game, as you mentioned, for the Lions, and that is the second fewest in the NCAA. They are tied with Auburn, and they are behind Ole Miss, who leads the NCAA. Shot going to be a little bit long, and then Grant Asman, who just checked in, along with the Nosovich, fight over the rebound, and J.O.'s going to come away with it.
Yeah, I mean, Lipscomb's not that much far behind them. They're just 9.6 per game. So, I mean, you're talking about 2 really good teams offensively.
Oh, nice little drive by Gyasi Powell. Powell now with 8 points. He and Anderson both have 8 points to lead the way for Lipscomb.
Every time Lipscomb stretched it to double digits, North Alabama's gone on a little 5-0 spurt to cut it back down. Let's see what they can do on this offensive possession.
Fields looks to pass on a breaker. Couldn't find him at first and got it back to Jefferson. Now it's Delane on the wing. Shot clock down to 2. He goes into the paint, forces up a shot, but he gets it right as the horn was ready to sound.
That's first team All-A-Sun player right there coming at you. Jakari Lane is so good.
No doubt about it.
Getting one-on-one shots with the shot clock winding down like that.
Yeah, there are so many good players in this league, but tonight we got a couple of the premier players here playing tonight. As you see, Lane and Anasovic right now, both teams are head to their bench. They'll talk to their coaches. Coach Pujols shaking his head. We'll see what he does during the timeout.
Welcome to the Atlantic Sun, where heart-pounding moments are born and where champions rise above, where speed defies limits and precision finds its mark, where millions of fans nationwide cheer for excellence, determination, and fairness, where public, private, and faith-based schools compete side by side, fostering sportsmanship and unity. From the beaches to the mountains, the Atlantic Sun is the destination.
Someday. Someday.
We all have things we hope to do someday. With great deposit rates from Ascend, we're here to help make your someday soon. Ascend Federal Credit Union. Open your account today.
We just want to say thank you so much for donating. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for supporting us on this day of giving.
Without you, none of the things we do would be possible. You allow us to travel to many different places and play at the highest competition levels.
And because of your donations, you've made this place greater.
Thank you to every Bison fan who has already supported our teams today. There are still a few hours left for you to help us reach our goal, and every donor counts. Please visit givingday.lipscomb.edu to donate before midnight tonight.
It is giving day as you see the Bison. He's excited about the money that's being raised. It's not athletics. It is athletics, but it's not just athletics. There is giving all over from the campus, what I call the campus school, but the academy, from the lower school right on through the whole academy, and then throughout every department here at Lipscomb, but especially athletics. And I've just been told athletics, they're 90% toward their goal. They're bringing the money in and using this game to help promote it. Patton is standing by. Let's go to Patton Cook. Patton?
Thanks, guys. Lenny Acuff really pleading with his team to finish this first half very well. Said they're working their tail off, they being North Alabama on the offensive end. He said that's how it's got to be the rest of the way here. Ask for another kill, guys, which is 3 stops in a row. They've already got 1 tonight. They're looking to help out the Lippy Lunatics a little bit more, and, oh, by the way, his team as well.
Yeah, on this giving day, if they get those kills, get those stops, and the student section makes some money off of it for their social clubs and other events.
I'm used to calling kills when I'm talking with Brandon Rose, Coach Brandon Rosenthal on the volleyball team, but they've introduced it in basketball, 3 kills, 3 stops in a row. Both of these teams, final 340. Which direction is this one going to go? Is it going to stay tight, or is one of these teams, is Lipscomb going to try to pull away a little bit towards halftime? There's a nice defensive stop and a turnover by North Alabama on the entry pass to Jacob Ignacevic.
Why don't you text Brandon, see if he might just give them a couple of kills that they could use in that number they're trying to get here. 3:20 to play here in this first half.
Here with Williams, as Lipscomb's gone zone this possession.
And there's going to be a foul on Grant Asman. He pushed the bat into the back of the player there for Fields, that is.
You know,
he missed the shot, but he'll go to the line to shoot a couple.
Before that, we were the under 4 media timeout. Only 2 fouls had been called in this first half. That's the first foul called against Lipscomb. There were 2 against North Alabama, first one against Lipscomb.
Fields will connect on the free throw. He is a 76% free throw shooter. You said fouls called, not fouls made, right?
Well, that's true. This has been very physical. I think both coaches have had some gripes about fouls they wish had been called that were not.
Fields, the senior from Opelika, Alabama, played at Missouri Western for 3 years and then transferred into North Alabama. Connects on both the free throws. 3 minutes to play. Powell on the drive, gonna shoot it. Beautiful shot. Gyasi Powell in double figures now with 10 points, including 2 3-pointers. Lipscomb's hit their last 3 field goals. They're out on top by 8. Back to a man-to-man now. Driving the paint, little soft shot. No good there by Ortiz, and Lipscomb's got the rebound. Ball deflected and knocked out of bounds as Joe Anderson was trying to kind of feed it to Ignacevic. They'd like to get him going, but, you know, in some ways, he can play well outside the arc, but for him to really post, they got him a little bit too far out.
And Cornelius Williams is a tough matchup for Ignacevic. I don't think there's a player in this league that can fully guard Ignacevic for 40 minutes, but Williams is a good, lengthy player that can give Ignacevic some problems. That's why you got to get him off on some switches. They've got one now.
Here's Pruitt for 3. In and out, no good. 4 Lions around the backboard. They've got that covered, and they get the rebound. Here's Fields. Wanting to drive, does. Lost his dribble for a second, but keeps it alive. Gets it back out. Jefferson now to the wing with it. Got it down to Williams, and it went through his hands out of bounds, and so another turnover, and Lipscomb's got the ball.
You see this right here, just on the turn, just loses it himself, and really, again, defensively, this is a big man's game down low. Doesn't matter if you're a guard, power forward, or a post. Man, you better go in. You know you're going to get some harm.
They go to Pruitt in the corner for 3. Put it in the book. Will Pruitt with his second 3 of the night. Lipscomb now 6 of 13 from outside the arc. And they're out on top 36-25 with 1:22 to play here in this first half. Try to dump it down low to Williams, and it just rolled off of him, but a Bison got their paw in there, or their hoof, or whatever you want to say. I guess it would be a hoof. and they knocked that one out of bounds. I think it was Grant Asman. He and Pruitt both are trying to convince the official it should go the other way, but it doesn't, as Will Susi will check back into the lineup, and checking out will be Daniel Ortiz for the Lions. Minute 15 to play.
The Lions have decided to go a little bit bigger here against a smaller Lipscomb lineup. Jakari Lane, the only true guard out there for North Alabama.
Long three off the mark, and they fight for the rebound, and I think the foul's going to be on Grant Asman. He's going to be fouled for pushing and backing away there, and we might see a replay of that. He was trying to block out, but he just kept pushing the Lion out of bounds.
That's a second on Asman, but Lipscomb would rather Asman be physical with Williams. You're talking about Cornelius Williams, the #1 rebounder in the ASUN Conference. There is just a beautiful pickpocket steal that time by Joe Anderson.
Will Pruitt thought about a long three, but pulled back. We go inside a minute to play here in this first half. Anasovic thinking about going one-on-one to the bucket. He will. Double team, puts it up and over, and it's good. He just powered that one in.
Yeah, I mean, there's no defense that can really stop that right there.
38-25, Lipscomb with the lead. Got about a little over 10-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. And there's another pickpocket, another steal for Joe Anderson. He'll go up for the layup and gets it. Now they can play for the final shot of the half. Lipscomb out on top, 40-25. Joe gets a lot of steals.
He does, and that was just fighting through a high ball screen. Youngsters watching, that's the way you fight through a ball screen there.
They're holding it for the final shot of the half. It'll be inside 5 seconds to go here. They'll try to set the screen. Long three put on the way. It's off the mark, no good. And then there's going to be a foul on the shot. Late whistle. They waited, I think, to make sure that wasn't going in. And then they're going to send them to the line to shoot three. You know that's one of my pet peeves. I've got a lot of pet peeves.
0.5, though, that's about the best case scenario for North Alabama. Only thing that'd been better is if that shot had fallen and you get the foul call. But Jakari Lane, 5th in the ASUN in free throw percentage at 78.8, so it's almost an automatic three when he's at the charity stripe.
I'm still looking for that foul. I didn't find it there, but I'll keep looking. Lane, the junior out of Huntsville, Alabama. He's a 79% free throw shooter. He got the first one, misses on the second one. A sports management major. No doubt that he's a first-team All-ASUN. And here in this first half, he misses 2 of the 3, gets only 1 of them. And the rebound to Asman as the time runs out.
He still didn't like how his team was defending J.O. Said we got him lost a little too far out on the three-point line. Needs some response early in this second half to get back into this basketball game.
Lipscomb gets it to start the second half. We'll see what kind of set play they have coming out of the locker room. Joe Anderson on the drive, tries to feed it as they try to go backdoor with it to Charlie Williams, and it just goes through his hands out of bounds. I think they felt a lot of people might be looking at him to go to J.O. They try to go with a different play, and they end up losing it out of bounds. So we'll see what will happen now. The first possession for the Lions.
Well, Coach Powell may not be impressed with what they've done with J.O., but I think they've done a good job of putting Jacob Ignacevic off of his spots.
Opening three, no good there for
Will Susi that time. That would have been a big 3 to drop.
It would have been. Susi, who's a 27% three-point shooter, 22 of 81 coming into the ball game today, misses on that three-pointer. Here's J.O. has it stripped away from him by Fields, and Fields quickly takes it down to the other end. Now he tries to work down low, shoots one up, and again, as he goes to the deck, the whistle and the call is going to be against Charlie Williams.
Much better sign for North Alabama to start this game, though, on the defensive end. They forced 2 turnovers already in the first 2, and then that's how you want to play offense. You want to play offense with the defenses on their heels. You get in transition. You may not have numbers, but you can get mismatches, and that was a mismatch, Tay Fields against Charlie Williams.
Fields is going to connect on the first free throw. The senior out of Okalaka, Alabama, as we said, played 3 years at Missouri Western. He scored his 1,000th point in his 100th game that he played. Not a lot of players can say they did it that way. He connects on both those free throws. And he brings the Lions back to within 12. trail by as many as 15 in the first half. We're down 14 at halftime. Here's Pruitt, finds a gap, drives in. His shot doesn't get up over the rim. Partially altered there by the Lions, and they've got the ball now. First 4 minutes of the second half, always very important to set the tone for what's going to happen. There's a reach-in foul on Pruitt. And so that'll be Pruitt's second personal foul.
Well, Lipscomb had one foul. They didn't get a foul called against him until about 3 minutes to go in the first half. They've already had two whistled against him in the first minute and a half here of the second half.
Lions will work with a 20-second shot clock, and it'll be down to 8 as they work down low with it, and they lean into Charlie Williams, and they're going to call another foul on Charlie down low.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know how that's. I mean, Charlie Williams was throwing his shoulder into him. I don't know.
I don't know how that's not a charging foul. Watch it again. He's put his body there. They lean into it right there.
I mean, I don't know how that's not an offensive foul, honestly.
I'd like to see that one on a training film, because when you lower your shoulder like that, how is that?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to have an official. This is where I'd love to have an official come over and just explain to us. We may be wrong, but I'd like to know how that is a defensive foul. Now, if you want to call a foul in the first two contacts, but not that one right there.
Yeah, I'd like to have one of those officials like they do in most of the NFL and the big games, college games.
Yeah, can we have an official that could give us, we could go to the booth and check the booth.
Love to have that. Here's Pruitt now. Lead is down to 10. He'll feed it. Oh, nice ball movement. They get it back to Gyasi Powell. Boy, when he gets a pass like that, he's just thinking in his head, I'm going to put this one in the book. And he does. And the Lipscomb lead back out to 13.
Yeah, even though Lipscomb got that three, again, I still like North Alabama's defense. I like the way they've come out here in the second half. They're making it difficult on Lipscomb offensively.
Powell with 13, rebound there to Pruitt. And, you know, we may talk about fouls or not fouls or how a coach gets upset and all these kind of things. I would hope that I feel the same way whichever team it's being called against. And don't mind saying that when it happens that way, or when they don't maybe pick a traveling call or whatever. But right now I'm calling a lot of three-point shots. Jacob Anasovic puts it in the book for the Bisons. He's in double figures with 11. Powell with 13, Anderson with 10, Anasovic with 11, and Pruitt with 8 to lead the way for Lipscomb.
That's his 39th made three this year, but he's had 18 of those 39 in the last 8 games. He's really starting to heat up from downtown.
Nice backing into the bucket and going up and stopping a 6-0 run. 2-pointer there by Susi. Does a great job to get it in the paint and get the 2. Lipscomb working with 5 players outside the three-point line. Now they'll get J.O. to step down on the blocks. He finds a gap. He'll go in. Can he reverse it? He does, and lays it off the glass. He's one of the best using his pivot foot and reversing.
Yeah, I mean, he's weaving in between 3 tall trees down there and somehow finds a way to make it go.
Here's Lane on the drive. His shot may have been blocked out of bounds by Charlie Williams.
That's one, if I'm Coach Pujols, I'm complaining. That's a foul.
Yeah.
That's a foul on Charlie Williams. They didn't call it. I don't know why Jakari Lane's not going to the free throw line for 2 free throws.
Susi plays it in. Get it out to Fields. Now Lane has it on the wing. He's trouble. Now they'll get a blocking foul. This one will be on Powell, I believe. Kind of tripped him up a little bit there. Well, I'm telling you, every time Lane gets the ball, he's just dangerous. He can pop it. He can drive it. Whatever he needs to do.
Yeah, you can make it whatever analogy you want, but he's a jitterbug. He's so quick. Watch how quick those feet are. And, you know, Powell trying to get over there to cut him off. Just can't. But that's already 4 fouls whistled against Lipscomb, none against North Alabama here in the first 4 minutes. And that's the guy you got to watch out. He had 3 threes in the second half against Lipscomb in their win.
Well, he just put one up in the book there. Daniel Ortiz gets it. Charlie Williams tries to match him. His shot's going to be off the mark, and the rebound's going to come out to the Lions.
Check that. Daniel Ortiz had 4 threes in the win against Lipscomb.
We'll get an offensive foul against the Lions. The Bisons will have the ball when we come back. We're under 16, second half. Lipscomb, 48-35, leading it as you watch it on ESPN+.
At Stephen & Associates, we're here to help you create a personalized wealth strategy so that you can maximize your wealth and enjoy life. Located in the heart of Nashville, our associates are experts in designing personalized wealth strategies for individuals, families, and businesses located anywhere in the United States. Take the first step in building your financial success by visiting our website at snawealth.com. Stephen & Associates is a proud sponsor of Lipscomb University and Lipscomb Athletics.
At Elite Sports Medicine, we do a lot of sports medicine, but in our mind, sports medicine is life.
We have patients of all ages, honestly, as young as 10, 11, 12.
So you come to us with a problem that you can't do the things you like to do, and our job is to find a solution.
Everything we do is geared towards taking care of the patient.
I think what really makes Elite different is that we have got the very best people we could find anywhere. I like my people to do good, and I just want to give them the very best care they could get anywhere in the world.
Lipscomb is where your yearning for knowledge and ambition to excel are embraced in faith and refined through learning. A community that shines the light of Christ, magnifying the best in you and preparing you for what's next. Here, at the intersection of purpose and practice, you fashion a future to impact everyone you encounter in our hometown of Nashville and far beyond. At Lipscomb University, all you bring makes all the difference.
We just want to say thank you so much for donating.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much for supporting us on this day of giving.
Without you, none of the things we do would be possible. You allow us to travel to many different places and play at the highest competition levels.
And because of your donations, you've made this place greater.
Thank you to every Bison fan who has already supported our teams today. There are still a few hours left for you to help us reach our goal, and every donor counts. Please visit givingday.lipscomb.edu to donate before midnight tonight.
Well, as the Giving Day continues, they're calling out some numbers off some tickets. These people that were picked, one person that was first going to get a chance to go for $20,000 if they make it from midcourt, I believe is where they have to shoot from. We've already seen a shot from midcourt go in today, so we'll see what happens.
Well, and you know what? His brother was one of the winning tickets, so he's going to be going to try.
No. Oh, me, I can't
sure.
believe that. That is Mason and Mac Baker. Mason's the one that hit it. Mac's the one that could be an alternate now. We'll see what happens. A lot of fun. We got some more words from Patton Cook. Patton?
Thanks, guys. Earlier you guys were asking about any referees. I wanted to give my CV in there. I've refereed a couple 6U basketball games, so feel free to come to me for any of those.
Well, when we have a question call, you just jump in and tell us. Okay?
We'll do. Coach Powell in that timeout said we've been talking about rounds all year long. He said they are swinging on us right now. We are not swinging back. Talked about the defense again against J.O. Said single coverage is not going to do it. We've got to get help down low. If not, it's going to be a long night.
Lipscomb's ball, to the media timeout under 16, a 1-point advantage. North Alabama took 1 point off the lead at halftime. Lipscomb leads it by 13 with the ball. Here's Pruitt on the drive. His shot's going to go. Whistle sounds. He'll get a chance for a 3-point play.
Well, that's a little bit of a mismatch. The quickness of Lane, but you got the physical presence of Will Pruitt, and Pruitt using his body against the smaller Jakari Lane that time to finish.
Lane whistled for the foul. You know, North Alabama, first 20-win season since the 13-14 years they've made the transition from Division II over to Division I. They're in the midst of a 6-game winning streak here tonight. They're almost unbeatable at home, 8-0 in the conference at home this year. They've just had a great run and still continue to do that as they're battling here in this game. But there's another steal by Lipscomb. They've got the ball headed to the other way. Pruitt thought about the three, doesn't. But Powell says, give it to me, I'll try it. His is off the mark, but J.O.'s there for the rebound. Lipscomb keeps it alive. 15 to play here in this second half.
And another turnover forced, and with 14:54 to go,
Pruitt misses as it reverses it, hits the rim, and out with it quickly. Here come the Lions. With the shot off the glass, it just wouldn't go for Ortiz. Lipscomb's got the rebound.
I like the look by Ortiz. You hate that it didn't drop for him, but that's already 9 turnovers for North Alabama. Again, second best in the country, only committing 9 per game, and we still got 14 minutes to go in this one.
Well, the bounce is there tonight for the Bisons. We'll look at that one again in a few moments. Joe Anderson puts up the 3. It bounced high, fell through, and he gets to put it in the book.
Yeah, that one. That's the home court bounce for sure. You know you're going to get a few of those, but Lipscomb shooting it lights out in this one, 58% from the field.
6-0 run stopped there by the bucket up by Daniel Ortiz, the senior out of Shreveport, Louisiana, gets the bucket to stop the run that Lipscomb was on after the timeout. Here's Powell looking down low. Now he'll go wing with it to Anasovic, who finds a gap, drives, switches it from right to left hand to shoot it, and then it's deflected out of bounds. I mean, up in midair, he goes right to left to shoot that ball.
Yeah, a lot of contact still, but you got 4 Bisons now in double figures. Pruitt, Powell, Anderson, and Ognasovic.
Dante Bacchus will check into the line up as Cornelius Williams will check out. Also going out is going to be Will Susi. And into the ball game comes another player there. I believe that's going to be, besides Bacchus coming in, they'll be bringing in Jefferson, who checks in. Ball tipped away, and then Jefferson knocks it out of bounds, so Lipscomb will keep it alive after the missed shot.
Lipscomb right now, and that's what Coach Pujols was talking about. Lipscomb just getting to these loose balls, and just a tip out there leads to another offensive possession. That's a second offensive rebound on this possession alone for the Bisons.
Inbounds to Pruitt. Now he'll shout out some instructions. Now they'll get it to J.O. He'll bounce inside, spin, and turn. Soft little jump hook. Man, what a great player to watch play.
I mean, it's something special to behold for sure. ASUN leader in points per game, 20 per game. He's got 15.
Come the Lions to attack. Come out with a double team trap on him.
Yeah, Lipscomb's done some of that, and it's thrown a little bit of a wrench into things for UNA offensively.
Here's Lane on the wing. He'll drive to the elbow and shoot it. This one in and out, no good, and Jacob Anasovic is there for the rebound.
Well, we talked about Cornelius Williams and Tay Fields being 1 and 2 in rebounds per game. Don't forget about Ognasovic. He's #1 in points per game. He's 3rd in the ASUN in rebounds per game, and he's now got 6 rebounds in this one.
Lipscomb's got their biggest lead at 19, trying to add to it. Here's Powell spinning into the paint. Goes down, shoots a little baseline runner that's a little long. And out with a rebound comes Bacchus, and here come the Lions. Lane takes it to the wing. Gets it back to Ortiz out top. He lost the dribble for a second, but keeps it alive, and now will drive into the paint. And Asman came over and blocked it. And then it's stolen right back by Lane. His 3 is going to be good. And then we'll get a timeout call by Coach Pujols. That's a big turn right there. We'll talk about it when we come back.
Rory never thought she would live out her dream. Then one day, she did. You were made to chase your passions. We were made to put them in a package.
With USPS Ground Advantage, it's like you're with us every step of the way.
Right on time.
Stay in the know from your dock to their door.
What's your favorite part of a Kit Kat bar? The chocolate?
Nope. The inside.
The wafers?
No, the stuff in between the wafers.
Oh, the in-between stuff.
Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
And try Kit Kat Vanilla.
Get ready to score big during Spitzer's 3-point savings event. Panda, ready to let them know how? Pick your vehicle, then roll home with your choice of 1, huge Spitzer discount, 2, special low financing, or 3, more for your trade.
Whatever one you choose, it's a slam dunk. Like new Rams for $339 a month or up to $15,000 off with a lifetime warranty included. Wag more, spend less at Spitzer Jeep Ram, Mansfield, and Brook Park.
Our world revolves around you.
In the Waberhood, every delivery is a treat.
Bye, Waber. Something minty?
Of course.
A double. Lucky.
Fair, every style, every home.
BK Melts. Wanna warm up? This sure helps. Classic bacon, shroom, and Swiss. BK Melt season is tasty bliss. BK, have it your way.
Even when
U.S. Women's National Team forward Mallory Swanson isn't on the field, she always makes the perfect play. Thanks to the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards Visa card, she'll earn 3% cash back on her purchase after choosing the online shopping category.
Well, Daniel Ortiz got one sent away from the rim, but bad pass leads to a three-pointer from Jakari Lane and a timeout by Coach Tony Pujols. I think he felt that could be potentially a jump start for North Alabama. Still down by 16. Lipscomb's outscored them by 2, but Coach Pujols realizing the significance maybe of that play to try to jump start his team.
And he got that timeout in before the 12-minute mark, and Lipscomb with a 16-point lead. Let's go now to Patton Cook. Patton? Well, we'll see if we can go to Patton here. The official thought I was trying to get his attention. That's the first time an official has ever wanted my attention, ever.
First time the referee's ever given you the time of day. We were actually trying to get Patton Cook's attention over there to see if he got something. You got something, Patton? He does. Let's go to Patton.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Just daydreaming over here. But, yeah, Lenny Acuff said we've done our work offensively now. These final 11:54, it's all about the defense as Will Pruitt gets another basket.
Well, let's let her do it. Put a little offense in it, too, as Pruitt gets the 2, and it's back to an 18-point game. Little double team out front, and Susie caught it. He was so wide open in the A-Sun logo, he wasn't exactly sure whether he should drive or just shoot it, and he just shot it and got it.
Yeah, a little 2-3 zone out of the timeout. Sometimes, Susie, that's a tough shot sometimes when you turn around in the lane and find yourself that wide open.
Is that a tough shot there? Well, it doesn't go for Lipscomb as he just rolled off the rim, off the glass on the long 3 by Anasovic. So quickly at the other end, here's Susie working down low. Back to Jefferson, who goes to Lane now. He's going to drive the A-Sun, put it up off the glass. Good bucket there. As Jakari Lane, now with that bucket, has 13 points. Back down to a 14-point Lipscomb lead. We say it all the time. There's never a lead big enough for either team. You're always adding points to it. J.O. thought about a 3, doesn't. Now he wants to drive a little bit. A behind-the-back dribble going in, and he'll be fouled down low. We're going to take a network break. Bison's leading at 58-44. We're back. We're under 12.
Get ready to score big during Spitzer's 3-point savings event. Panda, ready to let them know how? Pick your vehicle, then roll home with your choice of 1, huge Spitzer discount, 2, special low financing, or 3, more for your trade.
Whatever one you choose, it's a slam dunk. Like new Rams for $339 a month or up to $15,000 off with a lifetime warranty included. Wag more, spend less at Spitzer Jeep Ram, Mansfield, and Brook Park.
Our world revolves around you.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that opens up a world of possibilities. With Venture X, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. And turn all of your purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Target made Up and Up for you, helping you save on hand soaps. With plant-derived ingredients and custom fragrances. With luscious foam to stir the senses. We made Up and Up for you, only at Target.
Burger King has a deal for all. $5 duo answers hunger's call. $7 trio, more options for y'all. Which one will you choose? At BK, have it your way.
With Allegra, you can stop being sneezy without feeling sleepy.
Hello, I'm sleepy.
Yeah, we know. Allegra has 0% brain interference for fast, non-drowsy allergy relief, so you won't be sneezy or sleepy.
Do you know what I'm allergic to?
Maybe not even grumpy. Stop your sneeze and ditch your drowsiness with Allegra. It's a no-brainer. See Disney Snow White in theaters March 21st.
Tonight at North Alabama they will be at Central Arkansas on the 24th on Monday night, and then they'll wrap up on Wednesday night at home hosting Queens. talking about Jakari Lane. He scored 22 points against West Georgia, Justin. He broke the all-time Division I scoring record at North Alabama. He passes Jamar Blackman. He has 1,356 coming in today. He is 6th on their all-time leading scoring list, and so far tonight with 13 points to lead the way for UNA. He's followed by Fields with 11. And then for Lipscomb, Pruitt with 13, Powell with 13, Anderson with 13, and Anasovic with 15. That's pretty balanced scoring coming out of the Bisons. Charlie Williams, the other starter, hasn't scored, but he hasn't taken a shot.
Yeah, but how about Jakari Lane? And he's only a junior. So you're talking about a guy, whether it's at North Alabama or somewhere else next year, prolific scorer. If it's at North Alabama, I'd say he'd be the favorite for preseason ASUN Player of the Year going into next year.
Well, he's been the ASUN Player of the Week 6 times over 3 years, tied for the 5th most awards in league history. And I know you know who has the all-time record. 13 all Players of the Week, the different awards they got. This guy got 13 of them, played between 2015 and 2019, still playing in the NBA.
And I saw him play just a week or so ago. Garrison Matthews scored a bucket for the Atlanta Hawks. He was one of the ASUN's best to ever do it in a basketball uniform.
Unbelievable watching him play. I mean, he could do it inside out. I mean, he was one of the best slashers, could take it straight to the bucket and score, and then had a beautiful three-point shot that he shot. Down low Lane. Kicks it back out to Sushi, and then the ball deflected away, but UNA keeps possession of it. Lane's going to drive the middle against Anasovic, lays it up over the rim and good. I was just waiting for one of those step-back threes right then, but he decides to challenge, and that's a big challenge going up against J.O. We approach the midway point of this second half. As Powell gets it back to Anasovic and then over to Pruitt. We are inside 10 minutes to play. And Joe Anderson with the drive, lays it up and good.
Now that Anderson, you just forget about his quickness sometimes, and if Lipscomb gets their 5 out, if he can get a step on you, that's what can happen.
Got a whistle and a foul down low.
It's a tough tough mismatch when you get J.O. around the three-point line trying to keep up with Jakari Lane. About the only guy that can match the quickness of Lane is probably Joe Anderson.
Another foul committed against Lipscomb, going to send to the line Jakari Lane, who we've been talking about, the 6-foot junior from Huntsville, Alabama, and connects on the first one. You know, when you start looking at their roster, the players out of Alabama, it brings back so many memories to me back when Coach Don Meyer, who the floor is named after here in Al Arena, Don Meyer floor, used to do a lot of recruiting down in Alabama, Enterprise High School, Lee High School. These were all schools that I remember so much about as the second free throw is missed. And a lot of great players have come out of that, and North Alabama's been tapping into that pipeline. Here's Pruitt. Just
talk about the Alabama basketball schools this year. Boy, it's not been really any better than Alabama basketball when you're talking about Auburn, Alabama, and then North Alabama 20-win team.
Yeah, they got a lot of schools down there, and they'd love to have several of them in the NCAA tournament. As Pruitt is going to be fouled, and the foul is going to be on Will Susi, the 6'6 senior.
It's a tough foul there with 5 on the shot clock. Will was going to have to make something happen in a hurry.
Susi has just missed one regular season game in a long, long time. He has played in 144 games coming into tonight, 5th-year senior. As they get it inside, and Jacob Anasovic, he flushed his second one home today.
Well, Susi's played the most games of any North Alabama player ever, and you're starting seeing some of those numbers now because of the COVID extra year that players are getting.
I guess probably by next year, as we see a little.
I think next year, not positive, but this year, next year is the last year of the COVID year.
It should wipe out all that, but what it's going to do is going to change records forever.
Yeah, this is, I think, technically the last of the COVID year, technically, but you've got some players who maybe have had a medical red shirt that you combine that with a COVID year, so you're still going to have a little bit of the lingering
Grant Asman picks up the foul. It's his third. It's the Bison's 9th foul here in this ball game. And Bacchus to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. He connects on the first one. Bacchus, a 62% free throw shooter out of Homewood, played at Snead State Community College. You know, he scored 21 against UNF earlier this year. He went 9 for 9 from the field in that game. Connects on both the free throws. And it's a 14-point game with 8:38 to play. Lipscomb holding on to the lead. Led it at halftime by 14. And that's the lead right now. Here's Asman. Back to Anderson. He'll shoot the long three. This one too hard. Fighting for the rebound. Coming out with it. Quickly, here's Lane on the run to the other end. Nice pass off. And a block at the rim. Miles White got a block at the rim. Coach Pujols. Woo-wee.
Well, and I don't blame him. There was a foul on Lipscomb. Nothing called. And then you hit it the three on the other end. That's sometimes how it goes.
Well, it just happens that way, and I'm like you. Miles White went up to the rim and knocked it away.
Well, and I don't really think the foul was on White. I think the foul was before that. Miles White made the block. I think Coach Tony Pujols has a gripe there, and I don't blame him.
Well, he's been given a couple officials' ears full down the way. It'd be nice to see it again, but there's a nice play by Susie, kind of quiet everybody down. He gets in the paint and scores. The block, to me, looked good, but I wasn't really sure where the other foul was, but kind of take your word on it there. Maybe we'll get a chance somewhere along the line to go back and see it, but it's just another one of those calls that gets a coach fired up. There's Joe Anderson driving, ball stripped away, goes out of bounds. Last touching Joe's leg. 7:22 to play. We're under 8. Lipscomb with a 66-51 lead. As you watch it all on ESPN+.
You just can't beat a post-game burger at McDonald's, right? And you can't beat the Angel Reese special. All right, let's break it down. It's a quarter pounder with my favorite barbecue sauce, American cheese, crispy bacon, pickles, and onions on a sesame seed bun. Get the Angel Reese special at McDonald's. What are you waiting for?
The fact that this Reese's ad showed up at this exact moment proves that your devices are listening to your stomach.
Get ready to score big during Spitzer's 3-point savings event. Panda, ready to let them know how? Pick your vehicle, then roll home with your choice of 1, huge Spitzer discount, 2, special low financing, or 3, more for your trade.
Whatever you choose, it's a slam dunk. Drive new 2024 Broncos for $299 a month, or get new 2024 Ford XLTs for $335 a month. Wag more, spend less at Spitzer Ford Cuyahoga Falls in Hartville, proud sponsor of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Our world revolves around you.
Target made Good and Gather for you, helping you save on tasty berries frozen at peak ripeness, ready whenever you need them. Everyday favorites at unbeatable prices. We made Good and Gather for you, only at Target.
Even when U.S. Women's National Team forward Mallory Swanson isn't on the field, she always makes the perfect play. Thanks to the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards Visa Card, she'll earn 3% cash back on her purchase after choosing the online shopping category.
With Allegra, you can stop being sneezy without feeling sleepy.
Hello?
I'm sleepy.
Yeah, we know.
Allegra has 0% brain interference for fast, non-drowsy allergy relief, so you won't be sneezy or sleepy.
Do you know what I'm allergic to?
Maybe not even grumpy. Stop your sneeze and ditch your drowsiness with Allegra. It's a no-brainer. See Disney Snow White in theaters March 21st.
Coach Tony Pujols was very upset with the officials after what he thought was a missed call here. And I can agree with him. Dante Bacchus there got slashed across the face on the deck there. He was clearly hit by Joe Anderson. The block was good from Miles White, but there was a foul that was missed. So I understand Coach Tony Pujols' frustration, and then insult to injury, Will Pruitt knocks the three down after that play. Here's another angle at that Bacchus foul. As you can see, Joe Anderson, nothing malicious there, just trying to get the ball, but he got Bacchus across the face.
And Miles showed us how he can leap and go, and there's nothing personal against this, but I'm going to let Patton Cook go next. Pat?
Thank you very much. Listening into Coach Pujols' timeout, pretty much the entirety of it, guys, was just talking about defensive assignments. He said, guys, we're just not talking. We're leaving guys wide open. We're leaving guys open who we shouldn't. It really kind of let his players almost take over that huddle. Kind of this late into the game, that is not the sort of conversations I'm sure Coach Powell wanted to have. Defensive adjustments with only 8 minutes left to go.
Thank you, Patton. Points off turnovers. Lipscomb has 16 off of 9 turnovers from the Lions. The Lions have 10 off of Lipscomb's 8 turnovers. Lipscomb in the rebounding category has an advantage 25-19. And you go down and look at points in the paint. Lipscomb controlling their 30-18. As the Lions will attack here as we approach that 7:15 mark. Backing it in is going to be Bacchus. Turn, shoots it over Pruitt. No good. Ball loose on the floor. Aspen tried to get it, couldn't. Then it's knocked again. And we got players going everywhere. We're going to get a reach-in foul. No. Ball's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Lipscomb. Huh. How many guys were on the floor?
I mean, that's all-out effort by both teams.
Count them.
We'll count it. 1, 2, 3. They get 4, 5, 6. 6 players hit the deck on that one.
Wow. Great hustle there, trying to go after what was maybe a 50-50 ball. That ball was loose, but boy, they were battling for it. Going to be a foul called on Pruitt down low. As working his way in was Tay Fields, the senior, who's averaging 11 points a ball game. Fields got that average 11 here in this one. He'll go to the line to add to that.
It's actually Bacchus. Yeah, Bacchus, who has a good size advantage. They brought in Bacchus for a little bit more of his scoring. Williams is more of the defensive presence and the rebounder, but they need Bacchus in there for his scoring.
I never could count. He's number 1. The other guy was number 9. Let's give you some stuff on Bacchus. Bacchus, a 61% free throw shooter. He's averaging 7 points a ball game. He's got 6 in this one now. And the Lions trail the Bisons here by 13. And Joe Anderson across the timeline. Pressure being applied, a lot more of this man-to-man sticking to him. His shot clock will go down to 11, so get it over to J.O. He wants to work one-on-one, and then a step back 2 that won't go. The rebound's fought for, and Gyasi Powell, I'm telling you, he can shoot the 3, he can shoot the 2, he can play defense, and he can battle you on the boards.
Again, Lipscomb got out-rebounded by UNA and Florence by 15. They've out-rebounded North Alabama by 6 so far in this one.
Little drive, runner off the glass, going to be good. Bacchus gets the 2. He's got 8 points now in the ball game. 2 of 5 from the field. He's hit on all 4 free throws. He's played 18 minutes here in this ball game. Asman, who's back for the first time in a long time playing for the Bisons here in this game. As Anasovic on the run, misses, gets his on rebound, kicks it back out. They've got 20 on the shot clock. They can take a little time off here. And Coach Acuff puts up a stop sign across the way. 5.5 minutes to play here in this ball game.
It's the 7th offensive rebound for Lipscomb.
J.O. for 3. Put it in the book. Lipscomb goes up by 16 with 5:15 to play in this ball game.
J.O. above his average now. He's got 21.
Been very consistent here of late, scoring 20 or more points. Little drive. Has been swatted at it trying to get a block, but doesn't. And Bacchus gets another bucket.
He's in double figures now with 10. He's really exploiting that matchup using his physicality and size.
The Lions have hit 7 out of 9 in their last field goal attempts. Joe Anderson looking to drive, pulls it back. Now he's open for a 3, top of the key. He is a little bit too hard. A big rebound there by Bacchus. Man, the 6'7" junior goes up and brought that one down. Here's Fields on the drive. Got it. And we'll get a timeout call by Coach Powell. 4:30, 4:25 left to go. We're going to keep it right here in Nashville, where Lipscomb has a 71-59 lead over North Alabama. Out on top now by 12.
Closest North Alabama's, though, been in a long time. 3 for their last 3 on field goals, and you're starting to see that urgency from North Alabama. Lipscomb's got to keep the pedal to the metal, though.
They're going to take a full timeout, but we're keeping it right here in Nashville. Maybe a chance for us to look at some of the scores. They may not have the graphic updated, but it's... Oh, they are going to make it a media. So we're going to take one with them, Kyle? We'll do it. We'll take the media timeout. 4:25 left to go. Lipscomb leads at 71-59.
At Stephen & Associates, we're here to help you create a personalized wealth strategy so that you can maximize your wealth and enjoy life. Located in the heart of Nashville, our associates are experts in designing personalized wealth strategies for individuals, families, and businesses located anywhere in the United States. Take the first step in building your financial success by visiting our website at snawealth.com. Stephen & Associates is a proud sponsor of Lipscomb University and Lipscomb Athletics.
Lipscomb is where your yearning for knowledge and ambition to excel are embraced in faith and refined through learning. A community that shines the light of Christ, magnifying the best in you and preparing you for what's next. Here, at the intersection of purpose and practice, you fashion a future to impact everyone you encounter in our hometown of Nashville and far beyond. At Lipscomb University, all you bring makes all the difference.
We just want to say thank you so much for donating.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for supporting us on this day of giving.
Without you, none of the things we do would be possible. You allow us to travel to many different places and play at the highest competition levels.
And because of your donations, you've made this place greater.
Thank you to every Bison fan who has already supported our teams today. There are still a few hours left for you to help us reach our goal, and every donor counts. Please visit givingday.lipscomb.edu to donate before midnight tonight.
Giving Day continues. You may hear some students yelling in the background because they're giving away some money based on how many clubs had the most people give, etc. We're going to give you a schedule remaining for Lipscomb. How's that? They got Austin Peay on Monday night. It's always a big game when they play in Clarksville or in Nashville. It's not the running of the torch the way it was back in the 50s and the 60s. But Austin Peay will be their opponent on Monday night. Then they're back home for senior night. That'll be an emotional night here in Allen Arena. The seniors will be honored February 26th, 7 p.m. And then guess what? It's A-Sun Madness time as all the teams in the A-Sun begin play March 3rd through the 8th. And if the regular season is anything, look out when A-Sun Madness rolls around.
Absolutely. That game against Austin Peay, that's on ESPNU as well. So that'll be a big one on the U. Check in with Patton Cook over there listening to the Lipscomb Huddle. Patton, what do you got for us?
Thanks, guys. Lenny Acuff talking to his group. Did talk about the defense. He said these are tough twos that North Alabama is making. He doesn't want his group to change anything on that end, so it doesn't look like Will Pruitt's going to get much help with Backus here down the stretch, guys.
Yeah, it's going to be full court press probably the rest of the way, too, from the Lions. They're going to fight you tooth and nail. See how the Bisons work against the press and the double team. Down to 16 on the shot clock. Bisons have elected to keep Miles White out there along with Gyasi Powell, and then the three other starters for the Bisons, Will Pruitt, who tries a reverse layup, doesn't go. Buckets and points are going to be important here. J.O. and Powell, the other two on the floor, is there's a drive and a miss shot, and then the blocking foul called, and I guarantee you that whistle was at least 3 or 4 seconds, maybe not that long, but that play had took place before they blow that whistle. I just don't understand. I talked to an older official this year that's 95 years old the other day by the name of Bob Mason, and we had a long talk about this. We had a long talk. Bob Mason called SEC and everything. The guy's a great guy, and he's not feeling too well right now, and I send out my best to Bob Mason, who's probably watching this home. But we talked a lot about that. Why not call the foul when the foul happens? Why do we wait so late on it? I mean, I know I'm getting old too, but I'm just telling you, that's just how you see things.
Well, this is a big free throw here to take it to 10. Lipscomb's had a double-digit lead this whole second half, but you crack that double-digit, things start getting tight. North Alabama playing in scramble mode right here for the final 3:50.
Still plenty of time left in a 10-point ball game. There's going to be almost a steal made by Lane, but it's knocked away, and then at midcourt, a whistle and a foul going to be called as reaching in. Lane is whistled or rather Fields is going to be whistled for the foul.
Well, significant there. That's the 6th team foul. So next foul, Lipscomb going to the free throw line. North Alabama already in the bonus, but Lipscomb, this is no time to take anything off the gas. You've got to run your offense just like you were running it when there was 15 minutes to go in the second half.
Yeah, I think they got to keep everything going just as hard as they have. And again, now we'll be in the bonus the rest of the way for both the teams. After the one they had to give, they just gave. So Joe Anderson trying to work one-on-one going into the paint and then tries to feed it over in the corner, and it's going to be another close to a turnover, but they're going to rule that went off of North Alabama. But I'm telling you, I like what I see out of the defense of UNA right now. They have actually really turned the stove up. They've got the gas going right now defensively, knowing that they're down 10 with 3.5 to play. There'll be 7 on the shot clock. Lipscomb's got to remember they didn't get a reset. Here's Anderson on the drive. His shot is short, and the rebound's going to come down. Susi's got it. They can get inside double figures with this possession. The drive by Fields, the bucket up. May have been touched a little bit there by Miles White, and Lipscomb comes away with it, and a reach-in foul I think will be on Fields. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, and that's really tough for Fields because he finishes that. Boy, things get tight quickly. That should be the 7th team foul, if I'm not correct.
No, they haven't called a 1-and-1 yet.
I guess there have just been previously 6. I thought that was going to favor Lipscomb because Gyasi Powell, the best free throw shooter on this Bison team.
Lipscomb will bring it up to the midcourt stripe. Joe Anderson running the offense, double teamed as he crosses at the line. Gets it over to Pruitt, who too is trapped for a second. And we're inside 3 minutes to play. Lipscomb has not scored in the last 2-12. I bring that up because the other night in a win here in Allen Arena, as the ball goes to Pruitt, who fakes the 3, a step back 3, his shot off the mark, and the rebound comes down to the Lions. They have the ball, trying to get inside the 10-point, and Lane is the guy driving. He missed on it, though, went to the deck, and there is no foul. Lipscomb's got the rebound. Powell will push it across the timeline.
And Coach Pujols was very upset, thought there was a foul there.
And now the whistle and the foul. What I was going to say a moment ago, when Lipscomb beat Florida Gulf Coast the other night 82-68, they did not score a field goal just past the 10-minute mark. From 9 minutes in that half, they didn't score a field goal. All their scoring came at the free throw line.
Well, and it's not the worst thing in the world to go to the free throw line and score down the stretch when you're trying to bleed the clock a little bit, but it can be dangerous against a team that can score as prolific as North Alabama.
Powell, who is shooting for the Bisons 92% from the line. I'm just saying that's a long time.
Yeah, it is.
The whole final 10 minutes not to get a field goal. Lipscomb is now 0 of 4 in field goals. Haven't had a field goal in over 3 minutes, but they get a couple of points at the free throw line and stretch it back out to a 12-point lead with 2:20 to play. Fields wants to drive. Kicks it back out for a 3. This one off the mark, and Anasovic will clean up the rebound and come down with it. And we're going to have a foul on the rebound, and I believe it's going to be on Dante Bacchus.
I think they're going to get Will Susi.
Are they? If
yeah,
so,
I think it's Susi who. Well, yeah, it's going to be his 4th.
It's going to be his 4th foul. I'm sorry.
That one was unfortunate on Susi because he was kind of going for the rebound and a little bit bad spot, you see, and he just kind of ran into Will Pruitt. I mean, you have to call the foul, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I
really
thought they had called the foul
on
Bacchus against Anasovic. Instead, they get it when Pruitt's knocked down. You're right. Susi's just wrong place at the wrong time.
It wasn't the worst foul, though, because of 1-and-1, so you get the ball right back.
Yeah, Pruitt misses the front end of the 1-and-1. 12-point game, 2 minutes to play. Shot is short by Fields. Ball loose, coming out with it. And putting it back up and good is going to be Bacchus down low. Dante Bacchus gets the 2. Bacchus now, with that bucket, has 12 points in the ball game. It's a 10-point game, minute 41 to play. Powell out of the double team. Back to Joe Anderson, trying to get across the timeline. Does with it to Pruitt. Pruitt being pushed at midcourt, and the foul will be called on Fields, that is. Fields the senior, picks up the foul. You know, he averages 8 rebounds a game. Here in this game today, he's got only 2 rebounds and his 13 points.
Yeah, and we also haven't seen Cornelius Williams that much, just 20 minutes played, and Williams is the ASUN leader in rebounds per game.
He's got 5 rebounds. The leader for them tonight so far is Bacchus with 7 rebounds. Lipscomb's Anasovic has 8 rebounds and 21 points. Knocking on the door of a double-double, and Pruitt will hit both free throws. Minute and a half to play here in Nashville. The battle for number 1 between these two teams. Lipscomb trying to tie North Alabama at the top of the league. And there's a missed 3, and Lipscomb's got the rebound, and Pruitt's going to bring it out. They'll take some time off the clock. Down to a minute 12 to play, and the Bison fans begin to go to their feet in Allen Arena.
Coach Pujols has called the dogs off, too. They're not going to foul.
Down inside a minute to play. Anderson with 5 seconds. They'll double team him. Bacchus tries to take it away. J.O. 3 hits the rim, won't go in, and out with the rebound. Here comes North Alabama. Lane with it. His shot too hard. Off the back of the iron. Pruitt's got the rebound with 38 seconds to go. Looks like Lipscomb is going to knock off number 1, North Alabama. And the fans are on their feet. I was looking for the Trevor Garrett stat. See if we can find that from Mr. Hall of Famer.
This will be just the 4th time in the Division I that Lipscomb has won 20 games in a year. Lipscomb didn't win 20 games in the first 17 Division I seasons, but Lipscomb is going to improve to 20-9 overall tonight against North Alabama.
North Alabama won their 20th game last time out. They're going to drop now to 20-9. They will be 12